Yeah, you guys brought up a lot of good things, and Scoop, something you talked about, my Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. How can Miami contain these two guys? Because right now they're averaging 53 a night combined, and we know that's what makes the engine go for Boston. So it's going to come down to stopping those two. We'll see Jimmy matched up on both of them at points, but he can't guard both of them, obviously. So, Antoine, what do you think Miami can do to slow this tandem down?
Well, obviously, you got to respect those guys' talents. I think Miami's a little bit more stubborn. The mindset of what I mean by stubborn defensively, they're going to play man to man. It's probably not going to see a lot of double teaming, but you got to respect Jason Tatum's and Jaylen Brown's offensive ability. Jimmy's a lockdown defender, so you probably can leave him on the island by himself, but
Mhm.
you may have to send to it, Jason. You got to mix it up a little bit. You got to give when you got guys like that can score the basketball. You got to give them different coverages. You got to try your best to keep them out balanced. You can't allow them to just go one-on-one against your defense. That's going to be very difficult for them to be able to stop them. But one thing, about Eric Spoelstra, and obviously playing in Miami and playing for Eric, I didn't play. He was the head assistant coach at the time. They're going to have different schemes. They're not going to let Jayson and Jaylen Brown see the same thing. I wouldn't be surprised you see Miami play a lot of zone this series. I just think they're going to mix it up. They won't let those guys get a steady diet of the same thing. They're going to make them do other things on the floor and see other defenses. I know Spoelstra, they're going to come up with a different game plan. They know man to man, they're not going to be able to guard those two guys. Those guys are too dynamic. You can't just leave a guy on his island by himself. Both of those guys are capable. And we see what Jayson Tatum just did last series. They're getting 50, let alone 30. So this guy's got that type of capability. But I'm looking for a strategized Miami Heat team to mix it up and to give the Boston Celtics a lot of different looks.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, I also think defensively, this is where you're going to depend heavily on Kyle Lowry and Caleb Martin at the guard positions and the swing position. But I'll add this. One thing I didn't mention in my previous statement is this. I think this is where Bam Adebayo really comes alive in the series. I think that Bam Adebayo is the matchup that I don't know if Boston has an answer for. I'm sure you have Al Horford, and I think you also have Robert Williams, but which Robert Williams will you get in this series defensively? I think Robert Williams is the key to this whole operation defensively for the Celtics, as well as Malcolm Brogdon, who I think was an incredible addition to the Celtics team. But I really do think that it's going to be all hands on deck approach. As you mentioned, Antoine, he's going to be on the night. Jimmy's going to be on an island by himself. You know what he can do. He's a lockdown defender, but you need more assets to complete this project, and it is going to go 6 or 7 games in my mind.